We should be live, and the intro is going to run now.
What up, guys? It's another awesome episode of the Dorkening on Wasting Money 1. The Dorkening are still battling with the Swedish
Polish
bastards. They're Swedish, right?
Polish.
There's an evil company that put a copyright strike on them. They're out of their home right now, so they'll be here today. So we'll get more into that in a second.
So with us today we have Wolfman.
Grr. What
Kevin?
up, people?
Yep. Yeah, that's me.
John D. And Mr. Tony the Dead.
Hello.
Oh.
Of course, our gracious host, John. So we all saw Star Wars today. Not today, but this week.
Was
Yes.
that a requirement?
Yes. So here's my thoughts, and let me know if this sounds good or not. Why don't we do part of the show non-spoilery?
Yeah.
Or we can go right into
no,
the
no.
spoilers.
Well, we'll just give our thoughts on it without spoilers, and then we'll just be like, all right, everything after this point is nothing but spoilers.
Sounds good, because this is a movie we totally have to talk about, and there's a lot of theories on where things are going to go out next. And I saw it with my friend Eric, and he told me a theory. We were talking about it after the movie, and his take on Rey totally blew my mind. I'm like, holy shit, I think this is what's going to happen. But let's get everybody...
anyways.
Yes, let's get all your thoughts right now. John, you want to go first?
Yeah, I thought it sucked. No, just kidding.
It was no Fantastic Four, am I right?
It was no Fantastic, no. No, it was exactly what I wanted it to be. It felt like the old movies with just a hint of CGI, but they didn't go overboard with it. It was so funny. I wasn't expecting that, and the two main characters, who I thought would be kind of bland, were awesome. So
Agreed.
Yeah. Well,
it's what everyone says it is.
Yeah, it was utterly amazing, and I think the Star Wars franchise is totally reborn after this.
I'm seeing so many spoilers in the chat.
So you can read that?
Like stuff that we...
Oh, yeah.
I'm not looking. Is it stuff we already know or just
But
about...
if you said, we know.
If we saw the movie, we know all the
Yeah.
spoilers. I mean,
I know that. I'm saying other things like comics or books or like stuff like that.
I don't include the comics or the book. I mean, they said that the books weren't going to be canon. So
Well, when Disney took over, they wiped out all the previous books. I think
Yeah.
there's like one new book where they said is canon, and the comics are certainly canon.
yeah, but I don't read the comics. So
Okay.
The people commenting may have read the comics,
Yeah.
so that's the thing with spoilers. You see, so
Thank you,
but
Ken.
I agree 100%. It totally felt like the old trilogy.
Mhm.
And it's funny, like, I read all these comments like, oh, I laughed, I cried. I'm like, I'm not gonna cry at this. I didn't cry at it, and I'm just like, it'll be whatever. The second the Star Wars logo came up, I felt like a giddy little kid. I was like,
thank you. That's no,
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you. As soon as the crawl started, I'm 10 years old. And I'm watching the original movie all over again, and I'm just sitting there and you could see it all around the people that I saw with. They were mesmerized by this film. There was no one, doing this or I can't believe how respectful all the people that were in
Yeah.
the theater were.
It was probably the most respectful audience, like considering that it was sold out.
Yeah.
Like you did not hear, like, other than people cheering for certain things, no one was talking. No, and like, beforehand, everyone wouldn't shut up, and I'm like, don't
Yeah.
even tell me it's going to
Yeah.
be like this. The second the lights went down, silence.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And people clapped after the movie was over.
Well, here's the thing: nobody was clapping on my theater, and I started it. I'm like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" And then I started it.
You just still clap. You stood up. People just looking at you like, who the fuck is this dude? This is a video that's projected. No one's
Yeah.
going to take a bow.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
but yeah,
so
people flooded at my theater too. It's good.
now you might have read on my Facebook that I had a major issue right before the movie started.
Diarrhea.
Yeah.
It was both front and back diarrhea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
So I avoided spoilers up until the very last minute, and they didn't let us in because they're cleaning out the theater, and these idiots that just left a movie, they decided to park their asses right where everybody is like gathering for the next showing. 4 of them, and they just start talking about the movie.
Yeah.
And I heard them talk about Luke, and I noped the fuck out. I went in there, and I just stood in the back of the theater, and just
Pride.
Yeah.
No.
You
because-
noped the fuck out.
Yeah, when he put that comment on Facebook, I'm like, that must be a typo because I've never heard that before. I think
I kind of like that. To be
he's
honest.
trying to start a new little phrase. I noped out.
Oh, that
I
was
like
written
that.
down on his status too.
Yeah, it's on the
Nope,
status.
fuck out.
Yeah.
I noped out.
I've done that plenty of times. Like, nope.
Nope.
Nope the fuck out. Yep.
Have
Nope
you-
the fuck out right now.
Usually when you've done that, you've ripped your earbuds out and just sat there being pissed.
That's Tony. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, all your theaters were respectful. I had a little girl playing ball in mine.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not her fault. You know, it's her parents. She's like 2 years old, but like, it wasn't constant. So it was nice that it wasn't constant. But I was in Leo mode. I was like, I'm gonna complain. I'm
What
gonna
does
go-
playing ball mean?
Literally, like they were
Is it-
throwing a ball around, not catch, like playing catch, not with gloves, but like a little
Sick.
bouncy ball, throwing it, and it would go all the way down by the, bottom chairs, and it's like,
Wow.
yeah.
You'd whip it at the screen during like pivotal moments.
No, it didn't come near me, or I would have picked it up and
Did you pop it?
Yeah, just like poof.
I would have Biff Tanned it, and I would have just like, go get it. But
Would
yeah,
have Death Starred it?
nobody. My crowd though was mellow. They didn't clap. I went like this, and I felt like an idiot because I was the only one, and then nothing. But I did cry. I didn't bawl, but it was more excitement and happiness. Like when you see certain characters come on, it's like, oh my god. And then of course stuff that happens. No, but it was like silence. It's like, and I actually went like this. I'm like, the fuck? Did I see that? You know what happened?
Yeah. Why is no one else reacting?
Yeah, what the hell?
I'm glad they aren't, but why aren't they?
Yeah, it was like, and I said to Shane, I go, isn't this amazing? Though, like, this is like, I see the little younger kids coming in. I'm like, this is how it was for when I first saw Star Wars. Like, this is a new Star Wars generation, and they're gonna be us in like 30 years talking about this, and it. Because the way that, yeah, like John said, like, to me, it really felt like, part of the original. You know what I mean? Like, it was so good.
No, what do you guys think about? Like, I've heard a couple people say that it's too similar to A New Hope, that it's almost the same movie, just like changed a little bit.
The more and more I think about it, the more I realize that. But I also think it's like the only complaint, and I really think there was just one thing that was a bit too similar, while the other things were more, or they could be homages. I think.
Yeah.
Without spoiling it, what do you think was too similar?
I'd have to spoil it. I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's something that happened towards the end of the movie,
Yes,
possibly with a.
exactly.
Maybe also because she's from Tatooine, and You know, I get it, but like, yet it's still a totally different story.
I was watching I got a review and someone's like, "Oh, everyone complained about the prequel trilogies because they're like it's not enough like the original trilogy." Now this new one comes out and they're saying, "Well, it's too much like the original trilogy." So just
Well,
make up your mind.
they do borrow a lot of pieces from multiple movies, not just the first one. Like there was a pivotal moment with Kylo Ren on the bridge, without spoiling it.
Hmm.
That's totally borrowed from a similar scene from Empire. But before we get into spoilers, let's we had a comment from the Daniel Ian show, or Daniel and Ian show, asking John, but we'll make this to everybody, is do we think this is better than Episode 4, A New Hope, and where would we rate this in in the Star Wars line, as of best to worst?
Oh,
I'm not ready to answer that.
Better than A New Hope. Yes, but slightly. If I want to go through my ratings, Empire's number one.
Yeah.
This would fall into second place. Then right behind that, A New Hope, Return, and then
The prequels.
the prequels. But the prequels I actually liked 2 and 3 better than 1. So 1 is dead last. You know.
How about you, John D?
I would say for me, man, Empire is number one, and A New Hope and Jedi for me are equal, and then this one, and then the prequels after that. Like I've watched all the prequels a couple times, but like kind of like whatever, I can give or take them. But for me, I would say so. Empire, A New Hope, and Return are the same, and then this new one is number 4. So
Kevin?
I'm actually leaning towards the same as John D. I mean, I really really loved the new one, but I mean, I can't. It's a different time. Like that for nostalgia reasons, I gotta keep the original trilogy there. Um, but it's don't get me wrong. It's all neck and neck. It really is neck and neck. Um, like I wasn't even thinking about the prequels like at all during this movie. It's like it wasn't even in my head in the least. So.
Yeah.
Tony?
you know what? I've been thinking about this like all night. Like I couldn't sleep. No, but I was leaning like Empire, of course, and then it's like right underneath it, like bumping against it is this one, and then I like Jedi, and then I like New Hope, and then I like Sith, clones, and then
Phantom.
Phantom. I
Yeah.
like that.
I would, for myself, when it comes down to the last 3, I would with Tony's list, it'd be different with the Sith and clones, but that would pretty much we pretty much fall in the same category. Yeah.
What about you, Pond?
It's tough. I've been thinking a lot about this as well, and I want to say this may be tied with Empire in my book.
Wow.
You know, and I think Empire is certainly the best Star Wars out of the original 3. But right now, because this is so fresh in my mind and it was so awesome, I would have to say Empire, then this, then New Hope, then Jedi, and then for the prequels, 3, 2, 1. So yeah.
But the thing is too is that like I'm gonna see it again, and the second it's available to buy, I'm gonna own it, and
yeah.
I'm gonna see it like over and over again, and my opinion may change. You know, like I would like to watch the original trilogy, then into this like in like a day,
Yeah.
just to see how it goes, and like I mean I'm sure it'll be fine, obviously, but I'm just as far as like if that'll change my opinion. But I don't know. It was I really like. I mean, it sounds like the people in the chat room have already seen it as well. But I mean, if you haven't seen it, you need to. It's. I don't know.
Definitely, yeah.
KAV Films is saying anybody seen Alvin and Chipmunks? Absolutely greatest movie of 2015.
Well, I was
I
gonna,
don't know. Sisters looks pretty good too, though.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something about this. So we go at the theater I go to. I talked about this in my video, but there's a line. You go through the ticket station, then there's a line to get in, and every time someone would walk in and go, "Is this the line for Theater 4 to see Star Wars?" I wanted to go, "No, we're coming. We're all staying here to see the new Chipmunks movie." You know, it's
Yeah.
like how stupid of a question is that? I always feel like if you ask a stupid question, you get a stupid answer. That's always been my thing.
That guy in the Star Wars in the Darth Vader costume, he's waiting for Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Exactly. There was a guy there dressed as Han, and his friend was dressed as Chewbacca. It's like, but they want to go see Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I went the day before to pick up my tickets because I ordered them online. I never got like an email, so I was kind of like, "Oh crap!" Like, hopefully my order actually went through. And I went to the little kiosk and I swiped my card, and it said, "What's your confirmation code?" And I never got it, so I was like, "Oh crap!" You know. I went up to the counter, and when I was in line, there was a guy like a couple people up from me that was wearing a big inflatable Jabba the Hutt costume. And I'm
Inflatable.
like, yeah, it was like one of those ones you turn on a little fan and it like blows up. And I'm
Okay,
just like,
cool.
I'm like, how is he gonna watch the movie? Like, how's it gonna work? And I felt bad for anyone around him. But thankfully, that was the day before. And it was funny. I went up to the counter and I'm like, yeah, I ordered a ticket last night for the movie tomorrow night, and I never got an email. And the guy's like, yeah, you never got an email. I'm like, I never got an email. I'll show you. I never got an email. I can show you that it came out of my. He's like, let me see your card. And I'm sure he thought that I was just trying to be like, hey,
Yeah.
give me a free ticket.
Yeah.
And he swiped my card, and then all of a sudden a ticket popped out. I was like, oh, all right, here you go. I'm like,
See that?
fit of a doubt. I'm an old man.
You're like,
See that's interesting that you guys say that you guys talk about the costumes and stuff, because like when me, my wife, and my son, we went to the kiosk, there was a sign right by the kiosk that said no costumes allowed at the
Wow.
theater I went to. So I'm
Yeah, me
like, I
too.
don't know if it's because it's the hood or whatever,
No.
but like,
Well, same here in Connecticut. It was all over the news saying that Bowtie Cinemas and I think AMC as well weren't allowing any face paint, face masks,
Exactly.
or costumes,
Well, no,
and no
AMC
weapons either.
A-
Yeah.
AMC allowed costumes because that's what I went to. I went to an AMC. They were allowing costumes, but they weren't allowing you to cover up your faces at all. So if you came as if you came as Chewie, which one guy did, he came in that. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Those onesies,
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
the Chewbacca onesies, basically that, and then you just saw his regular face. You know,
So he just looked awkward.
basically. You know.
There's a couple guys in my theater that had like the Vader like hoodie, like that looks like his uniform.
Right.
And it just made like that's pretty awesome, but I would never wear it other than to a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I saw someone in a stormtrooper one of those.
Yeah.
Which-
But anyways, let's get into spoilers.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's do that. So obviously, full warning, we're going to be talking about what happened during this movie. And
We are not holding back.
Yep, exactly. So, the main character, Kylo Ren,
Yes.
they come out right and say it, is that he is Han Solo's son,
Han and Leia's, yeah.
Han and Leia, and he refers to Vader as grandfather,
Yep.
which was awesome. But they don't really go into where Rey comes from.
And that's where so I've heard a couple, speculation like that it's Luke's daughter or like
Yeah.
Han and Leia had two kids.
Yep.
And it's they just haven't said anything about it yet. Like they haven't told her.
Well, they're not going by the books,
No.
but in the book they had twins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
but he's older than her. So
yeah, he's older. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but if it's Luke and he went back to the old ways, they're not allowed to have anybody, like no
Yeah,
sex, no companions, and that.
Yeah.
So,
but like
but who knows?
Kylo is the age that like you would expect him to be if Han and Leia had had a kid after return, like right after.
Yep.
So he's around late 20s,
30.
early 30s, yeah, like 30, right on the mark. But the girl, she's like looks like she could be 18 to 20.
Yeah.
So there's no
About
way
that,
that there's no way that they could be twins. So that theory is kind of like
Well,
No.
Yeah, I don't buy the fact that she's belongs to Leia or Han.
Yeah.
Basically, going back to what John was saying earlier when we were talking behind the scenes, is that there was no reaction. I mean, if that was the case, there was no reaction between
Yep.
Han and her or Leia and her when they
Right.
meet. So
But
Yeah.
there was some other things too, like the fact that when she got into the Millennium Falcon, it seemed like she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Like, and she was just kind of like, "Oh, why do I know how to do this?" Like,
Yeah, but she said she was a pilot. I mean,
yeah,
she
but still, but still, like they made an effort to kind of be like, why do I know how to do this? Just like with Finn being like, why am I so good at this? Like with the shoot, like so then people are speculating that he is the son of Lando.
Hmm.
And that
Oh.
that was taken when they went and conquered was a Cloud City, and he was forced to become a stormtrooper.
uh,
And it's kind of
I
like
think
built into his DNA kind of deal.
Well,
I
I,
think
I
that it,
kind of I kind of buy that theory too. Like maybe he's Lando's son, and the word traitor is thrown around a lot at him in the movie. So Lando was a traitor in
Yeah.
to Han. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like like little metaphors maybe type of thing. But
so
we'll see.
what you're saying is the Empire came in and dropped off with like 40 billion cases of Colt 45 and took a kid.
Probably.
I have a Colt 45, you know.
So my thought is there's one or two things, one or two possibilities. One is it is Luke's daughter. I don't think it's Han and Leia's. I think when she has a memory of the ship flying away, she says "Mama," so obviously the mother drops her off. If it is Luke's daughter, I think something happened during Kylo Ren's training that made Luke want to put his daughter into hiding. And maybe Kylo Ren ended up killing Luke's wife.
Right.
Eric's theory, which totally blew my mind, is if you go back to the prequels, Anakin was born without a father. He was born from pure Force energy. What if she is the polar opposite of Anakin, and the true prophecy is about to be foretold, bringing the balance to the Force, where she was born without a father and just born of pure Force energy?
Yeah, but wouldn't the polar opposite be she was born without a mother? I mean,
Well, no, you know what I mean. Where
No,
Anakin,
I'm asking. I mean, I'm
not
just-
not really
and then
polar
the
opposite.
father
but,
gives birth
yeah.
to her.
she's just there. She's forced energy. Just
I like
Well-
the father giving birth idea better.
yeah.
Right. Right.
But I mean, where Anakin turned evil, where she would be the light side of what happened to Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
I do buy into the fact that she's possibly Luke's daughter. Um, I don't think I don't think he abandoned her like the like he was, because at least with the abandon with Anakin and sending off Luke and Leia to be abandoned, he sent them off with people. He said, "Yeah, here you go. You go live with Baru and Owen, and she went and lived on Alderaan with Bail Organa. You know, with Ray. I mean, she just left there. I think that I do think that she's Luke's daughter, but I think some I I I like the thing that where Kylo probably killed the mother, and that's why she never came back. But I don't think she was abandoned there on purpose.
Yeah.
What during the flashback when she touches the lightsaber?
Yeah.
Spoilers. Like I hope nobody's like. If you guys haven't seen the movie, fuck off. Anyway, but anyway, like when she touches the lightsaber and it's the flashbacks, and then you see that she's a kid and she's kind of being dragged, like she's like screaming no, and you hear a voice, and the voice is like you can't tell who it is because you just see a hand. I don't know if it was Kylo because he's just like come on child like that, and I'm like you didn't see who it was. I want to know who that was like just telling her come on child like that, and then just kind of like left her. You never see who that is, but it could have been Kylo, with his mask on, and he's younger, obviously, and stuff. But I don't know.
Real quick tangent. Did anyone else hear Yoda's voice for a second when she had that flashback, or was that just me?
I didn't notice it, but I'm gonna be friggin' looking for it now.
Yeah.
I thought I
Okay.
heard Ben Kenobi's Obi-Wan Kenobi's voice.
That's what I thought I heard.
Yeah, I thought I heard his voice.
There's a few things I have to be on the lookout for because I guess there's a couple other like guest appearances in the movie that I didn't realize were
Simon
who they
Pegg
were.
was in the movie. I have no idea where.
I guess he was the guy who was running the junkyard, but he was
I know
wearing
where he was.
he's wearing the costume.
That was my guess.
Really?
Because
Yeah.
I had seen him on the set in a big get up minus a mask, and
He's
I
the
just
guy.
figured
Yeah, the guy that was
that's
running the junkyard, and then
could
Well,
give
which
the
one was
portions.
Andy Serkis?
Just real quick, Stormtrooper Mark says Yoda and Obi-Wan's voice can be heard in the flashback.
Uh-huh.
And Dan Zillow says, I've heard the voice of Ian McGregor. We know who's the new James Bond.
Daniel
yeah,
Craig.
Daniel
Craig
Craig.
was in it too. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the stormtrooper where she first learns to use her force power,
Mhm.
and she commands them to
I'll
let her
tighten
go.
those
And
cuffs.
another like wicked funny moment. Like there was a few. There's definitely like they're like, oh, people like I laughed. I'm like, it can't be that funny, and that legit laughed at a few things.
It
Like the
was
whole
the
thing-
right amount of humor, though. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh my god. It was like,
Yeah.
you know,
Like the
And by-
whole like thumbs up to BB-8 and BB-8 just
Yeah.
like with the letter thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's great.
yeah, that was awesome.
And by the way, I think Andy Serkis was the
Snoke.
Snoke.
Snoke. Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
exactly.
Oh,
And I've heard a couple people complaining about the CGI for that character, like saying that it was
Well,
not
he's,
not good enough.
he's a hologram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That made it better, but I would say Snoke and the creatures that Han Solo had captured.
Oh yeah.
Those two things were just a bit distracting, only because the rest of the movie is so practical
Mhm.
that it looked a little out of place. But it didn't bother me. It was a nitpick.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like Kevin says, like you know, like that. Those monsters were CGI, and some people were saying, I know Kevin would probably agree, like it would rather have those monsters as like the big rubber monsters.
Yeah,
Like,
but how would you really pull that off with them like
Well,
going like
not
to the speed
know.
to the extent that those scenes were done? I don't know how you could pull it off with big rubber monsters where they're like flying down the corridors and everything. I don't know how they would be able to pull that off really, even back in the day.
Or there were people like saying that like you know, what if they had like instead of those creatures, which you know that's something new we've never seen before, but what if they had like caught like 3 or 4 wampas and the wampas were going nuts in the
Oh,
fucking
that would have been awesome.
yeah. So
Somebody
So-
Said those creatures were seen in episode 2 in the arena, but I don't
Oh,
remember
probably.
them.
maybe.
I don't think anyone has seen that more than once.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
I have.
I've seen it more than once too.
Yeah.
I wondered something about Snoke. I noticed that when they showed Snoke's face, it's like he had a lot of the same damage that Vader / Anakin had on his head.
Really?
Yeah, he had that giant cut right down the middle of his forehead. You know, like right
I
here
didn't
where.
notice that.
Or from the side of his face, it was all messed up.
Yeah, that too. It's
They
like
were
right
saying that you know, because they kept saying everything's gonna be practical, and this it absolutely has to be CGI, and they were like, and once you see Snoke, you'll know it could only have been done with CGI. I disagree with that.
Yeah, just put someone in
Yeah.
makeup. Just put in the like, it's a hologram, so just put the hologram effect.
Yeah.
But there wasn't anything too bizarre with the face. I think he could have been a
No.
mask.
Stormtrooper Mark says JJ confirms Yoda and Obi-Wan voice was in it. They got Ian McGregor to return and edit out Guinness saying afraid and made it sound like Rey.
Yep.
Cool. I'm gonna have to keep my ears open for that.
I missed the Yoda one, but I definitely picked up
Yeah.
on.
I heard Alec Guinness. That's what I
Yeah.
thought I heard.
That's what I thought I heard too.
So, Snoke is obviously the big baddie. Some people are saying online that most likely he's going to be small like Yoda. You know, that's why he's projecting himself as really big.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. Who thought that he was really that big when we first saw him?
Me.
Yeah,
Same here.
Yeah. I thought, holy shit.
I'm like, dude, watch Prometheus. You know, this is giant.
So, who do we think Snoke really is?
Darth
Yeah?
Plagueis.
Darth
Yeah,
Plagueis?
maybe.
Okay,
Darth Plagueis, you said?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think evidence points to that. So
Is Plagueis from the books?
He was from. I guess he was in a book, and he was in obviously the prequels.
yeah, they mention him in the prequels. The Emperor, right? Palpatine.
Yeah, Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I see where the parallels are with Yoda and Darth Plagueis. Like Darth Plagueis represents the dark side. Yoda represents the best of the light. So yeah, so that makes sense.
So the scene with Han.
Oh,
The scene
the
with
Oh,
Han.
what
infamous
happened?
scene. He got a hangnail, and they had to stop shooting.
Yep. How shocked were you on the bridge?
Not
I
very.
I wasn't very shocked.
No.
No,
I was hoping that wasn't what was going to happen.
Same
I was
here.
going through this whole
Me
thing
too.
thinking that it was going to be Chewbacca dying because how he got shot,
Yeah.
and I thought there's something wrong. Chewie's not as quick as he used to be. He's old. They're going to kill him off, and then
well, they kind of referenced, that they wanted, like, he was gonna do it earlier in the movie. Like, he's just like, they're like, oh, you know what you have to do. He's like, they're like, hopefully you can do it. And he's just like, yeah, I have no connection with him. So I mean, I thought, like, at that point, I'm like, all right, this is what's gonna happen. I mean, I was hoping it was gonna turn around in another direction, but it didn't.
Yeah.
And it was good to see him in the movie, and hopefully he'll be in some maybe kind of like flashback kind of stuff in the up, the ones coming up. But
I think it was so hard because they made him like the best part of the movie, in my opinion. They made him the funniest character,
Mhm.
and now I just feel like the next movie we're gonna have to deal with a really serious Luke Skywalker, which doesn't sound as fun. I'm gonna miss Han.
hmm.
Only thing I wished was changed about that scene, and it was done really well. I wish Chewbacca went a bit more apeshit.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted a longer roar, and I wanted him to go. There was no morning scene either for Chewbacca.
You didn't think that him just losing it and just start shooting at everybody was him going nuts enough?
That was something. I liked
But-
the anger. I wanted to see the sadness.
But yeah, the
I
fact
think
that
was-
they've been friends for how long, and like good
Yeah.
point. Like, there was no mourning after. It was just like,
I-
hey, now we're gonna get in a Millennium Falcon fly away.
well,
Like,
they kind of showed a little thing. He kind of like sat there and he went
Yeah.
like that.
I think there'll be mourning in the next one. I mean, I think they'll address the death of Han in the next one, and we'll probably see like a, something like a warrior's funeral, and we'll see the sad side of it then. I think
that-
there's a lot.
I don't know. I don't know if it was just me or like that's whole scene right there just seemed like there was more to it, and then there's probably things that were edited out for time. And I think we'll see maybe when they release a Blu-ray or like an Ultimate Edition of it, we'll probably see more to that scene. I think that's what
I'm
I'm
looking
thinking.
forward to the George Lucas special edition with like additional
Oh
rocks.
no, we don't.
Yeah.
you take all the lightsabers, and he had walkie talkies in this one.
Mhm.
Oh, that's-
Didn't we
That'd
see
be the
like in the
Spielberg version, but yeah.
he's taking notes from Spielberg. Calm down. I understood where it was coming
Jesus.
from. The
It's
so
actually from E.T., which is not a George Lucas movie. Dumbass.
anyway,
Although E.T. was in episode 1. Sorry.
That's right.
so yeah.
Oh.
So there's a connection. Anyways, didn't we see something in one of the trailers though where it looked like, because you had thought that Chewie had, like, there was
Yeah.
someone crying over Chewie. We didn't see that in the movie though.
We did.
Oh,
I-
we did. It was the black guy, but he was
Yep.
just temporarily down.
Yep. She was crying when.
Oh, okay. I was looking. I mean, I was looking for it around the time when Han died.
Yeah.
So that's my problem.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So you guys think he's dead?
Oh,
Kylo? Not Kylo.
Han.
black guy?
Finn or Han?
Finn.
Oh,
Han?
you guys think Han's dead? Like they never actually show his body.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Giant lightsaber
There's
going
hope.
through
There's
going through
still
your
hope.
torso. I mean,
Maybe he's in
No,
kryptonite
he-
somewhere.
just that fall alone though.
He's not a Force user either, so he can't even come back as a ghost.
Yeah.
Which
Right.
kind of sucks, you know.
Darth Vader thought that Luke Skywalker died, but he ended up just going into that thing in Cloud City. That little.
Oh, like holding on to the
Well,
rafter
and-
thing, you know? Yeah.
You never know. I mean, look at the technology they have. I mean, I'm hoping
Yeah.
he's not dead.
This
Well,
isn't
denial,
this
man.
isn't The Walking Dead.
Shut
Tony.
up, John.
Oh no!
Both
Uh,
of you, Johns.
He's behind a dumpster.
KAV Films. KAV Films says something that is actually quite true about Phasma being so underused.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say was gonna say sometime in this one's like the award for the most overhyped character, Captain Phasma.
Well, you know that it's going forward. It's gonna. I mean, they just kind of make reference to like, hey, what can we do with her?
Yeah.
And so
Oh, I know,
she's
but
not done.
No,
No,
and,
no,
and it could be like Boba Fett. Boba Fett had a small appearance in Empire, and
then a smaller appearance in
yeah.
Return.
What was the hype that I missed? Because I heard this before
Well-
that she
well,
was supposed to be this great character.
It just seems like a lot of people for like the last 6 months, they were. I seen a lot of videos where people were like, "Oh, I'm collecting all Captain Phasma stuff. Captain Phasma is going to be like," and I'm like, you know nothing about the movie. I mean, for all we know, and it turns out that she's like in. I think she's got 10 minutes total on screen.
Oh,
More
not
than
even.
Luke. She's got more
She
than
did
Luke.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh boy.
That's another thing we need to talk about. Luke is I am so happy that they didn't leave it too big of a cliffhanger. That they kept on going to show Luke.
I was wondering if he was going to turn around, and if he didn't turn around, I would have thrown something at the screen.
Yeah.
Too bad you weren't at Tony State. There was that ball available. You could just put that.
Yeah.
Well, that would have been popped anyway.
That was the best cliffhanger. He was standing on a cliff,
Honestly.
Yeah,
overlooking.
literally, it was a
But it
cliffhanger.
was the best cliffhanger. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it was great to see him actually in the film, and we know he's going to be an 8.
Yes.
So
Shaved.
shave.
I'm wondering if they. I mean, just as a safety precaution, if they already filmed some of his stuff for 8, just in case anything happens, they can still. They could still at least pick up where.
They're already filming 8. That's
Yeah.
where he was spotted. Fully.
A few
Yeah.
months ago,
Yeah.
Leo brought up a very important article saying that Luke Skywalker was in a bar on the set of Episode 8, and he had a shaved face.
Oh,
Someone pays more attention to the show than the people on the show regularly.
we talk
I
about so
appreciate
much
that.
stuff.
Yeah, and usually it's all bullshit. So I appreciate that you paid attention.
Thank you, John.
What's that?
Speaking of
What's
bars, like this segs into the next thing. I felt myself wanting more of the scene of the Maz Kanata bar. Like I wanted to see more of it, just a little bit more, because I thought it was real cool how they started introducing some other creatures and stuff, and they had people playing the music and everything, and I thought that was real cool.
Apparently, the entrance to that, a lot of people online were freaking out because there's some flags from some characters of the Clone Wars. So I guess that one scene showing the entrance with all the flags on top paid homage to a lot of characters within the Clone Wars.
Oh, that's cool.
There was
the
a
Clone
Mandalorian flag too.
Yeah, the
Saw
Clone
that.
Wars cartoon, not the movie.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's I gonna say? Did anybody notice? I'm not sure if it's 100%, but like real quick, I think the guy from 30 Rock that always wears the hats that have a different saying on. I swear he was one of the people in the bar. Like it was really quick. And I'm like,
I can't think what his name is. I forget.
I think it's that guy, and I'm like, but I never looked it up.
World champion.
Yeah.
And you know what's weird? I was going through looking at the credits and I saw Bill Hader's name in there.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the voice of BB-8.
Yeah, BB-8. I was like, what? I didn't know
Is he
that.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's another thing too. What I was going into it like thinking like everybody's all about BB-8. What if, like I said this on the show before, what if he's the next Jar Jar? Like, what if people hate him and everybody's like, oh, BB-8's great. BB-8 was awesome.
Yeah.
That guy you talking about, Tony, is his name Judah Friedlander?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's what you're talking about.
No, I heard another comment about the whole R2D2 thing. Like, how do you guys think he came about? Like, he just woke up out of nowhere. Do you think it was something where it was controlled by Luke, or do you think it was something where it was on a timer or whatever? I don't know.
Actually, I read something this morning about that. Somebody else's theory that if Rey is Luke's daughter, Rey walks in when R2 comes to life again. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Right, like he recognizes something within her that's within Luke or whatever. Yeah.
The bloodline, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mean, because that one we saw in like the trailer as well, like it was Luke's hand on R2. Is it something where he's controlling R2? Like and
Could
maybe
be.
he could sense that she was around, and it was an important time to release that information to find him because he knew what was going down. Because you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want the next one. Hurry up!
Yep. Well, next one is
20
going to be Rogue One.
2017.
Yeah.
There's already like memes with like how many days left until the next one. 500 and whatever days.
I mean, that's a lot of days, but it's not that many days at the same time.
No.
How awesome was Poe, though?
Yeah.
I knew he wasn't dead. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Is when the ship went down. I'm like, yeah, right. They're not gonna. This character's not gonna die that early.
What about the dude from Big Ass Spider that was
Yep,
also
yep,
in
yep.
Tales of Halloween? He's like
And-
basically the new Porkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I so thought that.
He's
He's a
Heroes
bigger
also.
guy, and yeah, he's like the new Porkin.
I thought he's
Yeah.
gonna die.
He was in Tales of Halloween.
Yeah.
Which one?
Was he in the one where it was the neighbors battling against each other?
No, I don't know if
I
that
know
was
he
him.
was in it because we had the director of
Yeah.
the segments, and he also directed Big Ass Spider
Yeah.
on the show, and he's the
Mike
star of Big
Mendez.
Ass Spider. Yeah, Mike Mendez,
That's cool.
and he said it. He's in it. I'm gonna look it up now. Continue, Mike yourself.
You know how like you know no Tony said this and you guys said how we're gonna miss Han and his smart ass, you know, and everything, but I think they're gonna take Poe and they're gonna put him in that role like he's the next smart ass, like you know what I mean? So that kind of like cocky smart ass type, definitely.
I actually saw him more as a future Luke. It was as far as the type of character he was going to be.
I can
You
see that
know.
because he's kind of a goody two shoes.
Goody two shoes and a little cocky. You know, it's like I could fly anything. You know?
Just he was in the Sweet Tooth segment. I don't know where in the Sweet Tooth segment. It must have been like just in the background or something.
He was no.
Father or something.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he
the
might have been the
that
father.
Oh, okay. All right. But yeah, either way, it's pretty awesome that he's in it, and he has his own action figure now too. So that's good.
Awesome.
How huge is that for like an actor? I can't imagine.
I just see him as Parkman whenever I see him.
Greg Grunberg. Yeah.
Right?
No, it was just kind of interesting seeing him in the movie. It's like I'm with Tony. It's like I could see him in 1,000 things, but I just know him from I just remember him from Heroes. So
Yeah.
You can tell. I mean, you can tell in this film that like Han really changed a lot. Like he's getting older. He's like how much longer can I do this type of stuff? What he's doing with the smuggling and everything, and even like the interactions between him and Finn, which I felt were kind of like, see, the old Han would have been more suspicious of Finn. Like, dude, you just stopped being a stormtrooper. Like, what are you trying to pull here? But the new Han is just kind of like, yeah, like probably there's something good in this kid. I know the Force exists now. I realize that, there's good and not everything's messed up. And, I'll give this kid a chance type of thing. I'll believe what he's saying.
or he's been around long enough to know that hey, yeah, screw with me. I'll shoot you. I don't care anymore.
That's true. I love the part where he's like, he takes Chewie's crossbow and he's just like, let me use that thing. He's like, I'm like, I couldn't believe that he's never used that before in any other film.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, it took him this long to finally try Chewie's weapon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to fire it twice, and he's like, I like this.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that part.
How about in the beginning when Kylo Ren is leading that team destroying the small city and he stops that bolt in
Oh, that
midair?
was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That-
just
I mean-
stayed there the whole time until
Yep.
he was like walked away.
Yep.
That was great.
There isn't like I mean, I really can't think of anything that I mean, you can be nitpicky about every movie, but I really, just in general, like from beginning to end, I loved it, and I'm glad I did because I was so hoping I wasn't going to be disappointed, and I'm just hoping that it holds up. Like I'm hoping that it continues to be like this.
Well,
I think. Go ahead, Leo.
Oh, I was gonna say, as long as JJ stays in the reins, Look what he did with Star Trek. He took over for Star Trek. That turned out to be phenomenal. 2 was really good. 3 is I'm a little wavy about 3 because he doesn't have anything to do with 3 from what I understand.
I was just gonna say, yeah. So
Yeah.
he'll take over Star Wars and he'll do 2 movies and just hand off the reins again, you know. And
Yeah, as long as he doesn't
Is
do
he
that.
just is he just producing the next Star Wars movie?
Yeah,
not
because he's
directing
in a
it.
different director, right, John?
Yeah,
Yeah,
different
I believe-
director.
From who are they saying is up for that? Somebody
Michael
that
Bay.
yeah, no, not Michael Bay. Oh my god,
They're all gonna look like Ninja
Decided.
Turtles.
what's that guy's name? He did another good movie too. Can't think of it right now.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I liked it
Get out.
a
I
lot.
still
yeah.
haven't seen the trailer for the next one, but
Oh, speaking of
That's
trailers,
I was
what
gonna
trailers did
say,
you guys see?
I was
just
gonna say I only saw the teaser and then the first official, and that's how I went into this. Also, I stayed off of Facebook in that for 2 days.
Yeah.
And it was annoying because I saw like I had like 30 some notifications. It's like, Chance, just go on and get rid of them. Like, no, I will see something.
I luckily was able to avoid spoilers, but since I saw it, I've been seeing nothing but spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, and people
Yeah,
being so cruel. I mean,
Yeah, even on like people's like I was watching a video of someone. It was just like an out and about, had nothing to do with Star Wars, like listed anywhere.
Yep.
And they stop and they're looking through posters, and there's a Star Wars poster like, yeah, Han Solo gets killed. We all know. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, if you said there was no spoiler alert, there was no nothing. I'm like,
Yeah.
why would you just say that? Like, someone's gonna watch this and be pissed at you.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it wasn't me earlier, like, because I would have done nothing about it.
well, apparently the 4chan was like raising havoc on Reddit days prior and just posting stuff in subject lines, just in like personal finance sections, Funko collecting sections, and then like the main general forum, just like in the headline, Kylo kills Han with a lightsaber.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
People are just dicks.
Yeah.
They're just dicks just for the sake of being a dick.
Yeah. And it doesn't make them cool. It makes them sad.
Makes
They're-
him a dick. That's
Yeah,
what it does.
yeah.
It makes him a dick.
I mean, if your life is that pathetic that you have to do that,
You get thrills in just ruining things for other people.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's an article headline I keep seeing of someone that was beaten up at a theater for spoiling Star Wars, and I don't know if it's real or not, but I keep seeing it, and I hope it's true.
Yeah.
It'd be a good story.
I read that myself, and I thought to myself that it can't be real. It'd be awesome, but
Was it on The Onion?
no.
Oh.
if it was real, you'd hear about it like on every news station, you know.
Yeah, and it ends where the people weren't even arrested; they were allowed to enjoy the movie.
Okay. So it's fake.
The police just let them go watch the movie.
Yeah, not real life.
Yeah, not real. It would have been better if it ended with like the whole like awards ceremony like at the end of Star Wars.
So let's go back to Kevin's question he asked a few minutes ago. It's like, what
Yeah.
trailers did everyone get to see, before the movie?
I saw a shortened version of the Batman versus Superman. I didn't see an Independence Day, which I was really disappointed about. And honestly, the rest were kind of forgettable. I think I didn't see Civil War. Nothing really good. I was kind of disappointed, but whatever.
There was supposed to be a Deadpool teaser, and I didn't see that.
Maybe it was
Didn't see that
only
either.
like maybe it was only at IMAX theaters because that thing that you saw the still of was for IMAX. So maybe
Yeah.
it was that. But I saw Independence Day and I saw the new Ninja Turtles one, and then the rest I don't remember what they were as well.
I
Independence
saw
Day looked pretty awesome though. The trailer looked great.
I saw Independence Day. I saw the Jungle Book, the live action one.
Yeah, I saw that one too. Yeah.
Actually, I was like, wow, like I'd go see that. It looked pretty cool to me. But yeah, that and there's all the other trailers that probably you guys saw all of them.
So nothing.
Most of the ones like trailers that we saw already before even going to the movie that you could just go on YouTube and go online and stuff and see.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, I saw Independence Day. I saw Civil War, Gods of Egypt, Zootopia,
I didn't see that.
Zootopia,
Oh yeah.
um,
So,
Ha! Ha!
and
That was so good.
What else? There was like about 6 or 7 trailers, and I mean, this weird spin-off of Harry Potter called um
The creatures one, the
yeah, Fading Creatures or something like that, Fancy Creatures or
fancy creatures.
The
fan
mo-
Just creatures wearing bow ties. I'm fancy.
I said
Fancy
fantasy.
creatures.
the movies with
Guardian
Jack
of the
says
Oath.
the movies with Jack says he saw it in IMAX and no Deadpool trailer, so that's disappointing.
You know,
Stormtrooper Mark says it was in IMAX though, so maybe it's selected.
Yeah. What did you see?
Shayna just tagged me in something that's a little Easter egg. I thought was kind of neat. That like with Finn's name, like FN2187,
Yep.
they're saying it's a nod to the original Star Wars because um, J.J. Abrams nodded to it because that's the cell that Leia was in when they went to go save her. She's in 2187, so
See, I heard that, and I also heard that that has something to do with the number that was on Lando's ship.
Mm.
But I don't know. I was actually trying to find photos of Lando's ship with the number, and I couldn't see anything. So I don't know. I mean, either way, it would be awesome. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
J.J. Abrams likes to do that. There's also a character called Elo Asti, which is like Hello Nasty because he's a Beastie Boys fan. Stuff like that. Oh, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
That's
you,
one of the
Fancy
books
monsters.
they read.
Ishak Kadia.
Yeah, that's one of the books that they read, I think, in the movies. We're not talking Harry Potter now, though.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
No, I know. Just saying, I don't want to get into it.
we'll be here all day.
Jesus. Tony talking all by himself. Just playing Tony.
Usually how it happens.
I like it.
So, obviously, we all loved the movie.
Obviously.
But I know some of us have some items to nitpick. Is that something you want to discuss, or just leave it be?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really have much to nitpick about. Like, thinking about it, there's not like, there's really. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing to really nitpick. I guess, and we may see this down the road, like more of a backstory for Finn.
Yep.
Which would be awesome because I thought, I know it's not crazy to say because it's obvious, but his character is awesome. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
And Ray, both of them. Like, but we'll get those answers down the road, I'm sure. But they're just, I'm extremely pleased with that. I mean, I guess the only thing, and someone had said something to me about it at work, that they thought that the acting from Carrie Fisher was not too good.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they said. I'm like, I thought it was fine. They're just like, like, oh yeah, bad acting. I'm like, I don't really think so, but whatever.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
She didn't have much to work with.
Just old now.
Yeah. It's hard
I
to
noticed
emote all that
when she embraced Han Solo and they kind of closed up on her face, the screen got a little blurry, or looked kind of blurry. I don't know if
Yeah,
they
I
did
agree.
that.
Yep.
I don't know if they did that to hide her wrinkles or something like that.
But one other thing I noticed too is like, and then they panned up to Han, and the color itself looked odd. Like, it looked like it was done on a green screen and it was put in after the fact to me. And then there was also a few parts where I think it was like the Millennium Falcon was like flying away or whatever, and it almost looked like New Hope, where it was like a plastic model.
Thank you.
And it looked like a cutout. I'm like, and I'm like, if that's the case, that's amazing. I love that. But it kind of looked like that. Like there was like a few shots that were like that. And I'm like, all right, that's great. I don't know if that's the case or not.
Yeah, that was one thing I was telling John D about this morning. It's like one of two things that I noticed. One was that there was a scene where where the Millennium Falcon and like another ship looked. It looked. I think it was a TIE fighter, and they kind of looked like they were plastic.
Yeah, but
And,
I like almost like paying homage to.
Yeah. No. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. It just. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I just noticed it. Like, it's like, oh wow, they just kind of look shiny and plasticky. It's like, and then there's another scene where I think they're on Jakku, and there's a bunch of stormtroopers stand next to like a barricade, and this bomb comes in, and for like a brief second, you can tell it's CGI. Like the briefest of seconds is like. Other than that, I was fine with the movie.
What was that little short like alien lady?
Maz Kanata.
Yeah,
Maz.
I wasn't too psyched with how she looked.
Me too.
She kind of looked like what was that game, Psychonauts or something like that.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
She kind of looked like a character from that game. I mean, it just
I
they
liked
could
her
have done it
character
differently.
though.
Yeah, the character was great, but I just didn't like. They could have done it differently. I think they could have just.
I thought she just looked like a humanoid mole. That's all she reminded me of.
Yeah, but they could have thrown someone into makeup and like used
Mhm.
shrunk her down or whatever.
Just shrunk her down.
No, no, no.
They,
I mean,
they
using
probably didn't think this
yeah,
movie would make any money anyway.
yeah, just like the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And that's crazy how much money it's made so far.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Well, it
god.
made all the money before it even came out because all the tickets were already bought up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I was going to go see this in IMAX 3D.
I'm not going to
Because-
say I told you so, but I told you so.
Yeah, well, I had passes. I'm like, okay, I'll go see it in IMAX 3D. No big deal, you know. That morning, that morning I check and it's like all the IMAXs for that one particular theater for that day were sold out. I'm like, okay, not a big deal. You know, I saved the passes for another movie. Um, I'll go see it in 2D, not a problem. And the first showing for the 2D is sold out. So I'm like, okay, I see the next showing. Leave, get there. Then 10 minutes before we show up, we find that had sold out. It's a good showing.
I don't understand like how you didn't realize that was going to happen. Because it's been sold out everywhere for like ever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, for the most part, sold out. Like
Yeah.
the one I went to, it was pretty much sold out, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna look to see if there's a showing in my area that I can get into, and there was like a very few seats available. They were all like single seats, like scattered throughout.
Oh,
And I just
yeah.
picked one, and I'm like, all right, that's my seat. Those people that are sitting there are gonna be like, oh, cool, we don't have anyone sitting next to me, and guess what you do, and it's me.
that reminds me when we started watching ours, there was 3 kids that obviously bought their tickets late, and they were spread out throughout the theater. And you know my theaters, all assigned seating. You got the big leather recliners, and I think it was their first time there, so they decided, oh well, we're gonna try to sit together. So the 3 of them are sitting together, and you know they got there early, and all of a sudden a couple comes and they're like, "You're in my seats." They go, "Well, we wanted to sit next to our friend." They go, "Well, can't you move down?" So they move down. The people come for those seats. This went on for about 20 minutes of them going down the whole row.
We don't have
No,
assigned seating. I'm glad
Yeah,
we
we-
don't.
yeah, we don't have a,
I'm glad we do, because if you get your ticket early enough, you're gonna get the best seats in the house, and you can show up like as the trailers are playing, and those are your seats.
I showed up 40 minutes early, and
Yeah.
I had really good seats.
I went to the theater. It was like an hour and some change before the movie was even going to start, just because I was worried about parking. Because when I went to go pick up my tickets the night before, I had to park in like another section of the shopping center and walk down. I'm like, I'm gonna get here on like early, and I got there as the movie was getting out, and I got a parking spot right in front. It was awesome.
Mm.
Nice.
yeah.
was psyched.
So I wound up buying tickets, or just not buying tickets, but wound up getting in to see the third showing. And so and did a bunch of stuff, came back, and when I got back, there's like it's not a lobby, it's more of a vestibule. You know, it's this little hallway into where you buy your tickets, and it's completely filled with like 150 to 200 people. And I'm thinking, oh my god! I look at the guy with the clipboard and go, do I have to stand in line? I mean, I already have passes. Can I just go up? And he goes, I'm not here with part of the theater. We're all waiting for buses to show up so we can get all these people on buses. They bus people in. This was the crowd that bought up the second showing that I was expecting to go to. So it was just weird. I mean, they were all standing there, and it's like, wow.
Is anybody else getting like static and like Wolfie kind of like freezing up a little
He
bit?
put on his stormtrooper helmet for
Yeah.
He's a hologram. That's
The-
what it is.
The Sasquatch are chewing on his lines again.
Oh damn it!
Damn it.
So
TK124. Do you read me?
I got something like back to nitpicking, and it's not really so much with the movie. It refers to the movie, but it's more with the fans of the movie and their complaints about Rey being able to beat Kylo. And I'm just like, okay, well, Kylo got shot. Kylo was hurt. Also, he acknowledged, basically me and Wolfie were talking about this, how, he has more, Ray has more of the Force power in her than Kylo. Kylo never really finished his training, just like Luke never finished his training with Yoda, and he went, well, Kylo killed somebody and then left. But with Ray was a badass before she even held a lightsaber. I mean, you're abandoned as a kid in a, uninhabitable planet in the desert. You have to scavenge and fight and everything, and we see that when around the time she first meets Finn, and she's kicking ass with that staff. And I'm like, I don't see why she wouldn't have been able to kick his ass. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much one of my biggest nitpicks with it.
Yeah.
Another thing too is if she was like, maybe she was at the Jedi Temple when she was little, she got trained a little bit when she was younger. Maybe that just came out when she was older too.
Yeah.
And they mind wiped her or something.
Yep.
And it's something, maybe it's like how do I know this? It's coming back to her.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It was a long time ago, but it's all coming.
And how is it that the Millennium Falcon was just like there?
How great was that reveal?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
That was one of the that was one of the times where everyone was like, "Wah!" Like in my theater. it was awesome.
I liked my theater because every time they started to make noise, we were the theater. It was like shh, like everyone just shh, like when theaters shush itself.
Well, in my theater, it was like pretty much like no one shushed anybody, but it was just like, yeah. Then everyone just stopped because they're like, all right, we got to listen to what's going on now.
Yeah.
That was a great
two
reveal.
jokes, though, because the theater was so loud. I missed 2 things that were said, so I got to see the movie again.
Oh, you got to see it again.
Damn it.
I plan on seeing it at least one other time, if not more.
Oh yeah, much more.
Yeah,
many more.
I wanted to go to like the next showing. I was so excited about it.
yeah, no doubt.
I didn't want to go to the next showing because I wasn't getting home till 1:30 in the morning, and I had to work yesterday morning, so I was just like, I want to see it again, but I can't.
I was gonna say, how funny was the scene when Kylo is having one of his hissy fits when Rey escapes and he's like destroying everything, and those 2 stormtroopers are walking in.
Yeah,
He just
yeah.
around. I don't know. It was
No,
That was a nope.
Yep. Nope, get
Get the fuck out of there.
I noped out.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that the characters, the Asian gang, like they were from the Raid or something like that? Another movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And I read somewhere like that the guys from the Raid or whatever, that movie were in the Asian gang in the Smugglers in the ones in Han. So we didn't get to see them do any kind of kung fu or anything in it, but because they got knocked off pretty quick. So, but
It's still pretty
Never saw the raid.
Raid's pretty kick-ass.
yeah, I think that other group with that Scottish guy, he was like the main gang guy. I think that costume, those guys look badass. The
I
red,
like that too.
yeah.
I thought the
think
stormtroopers and all
obvious.
that looked awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the C-3PO thing where he says, "You probably don't recognize me because I have a red arm now."
Did anybody else find his voice off?
Yes. It was a bit higher pitched.
Yeah.
Sounded like it. I didn't get the red arm thing. Why did he have that, and then at the end he didn't have it, and then there was like this red robot that had it? I didn't get it.
No, he still had it, John. It was another robot like 3PO, but he was that entire color.
Okay.
You might be mistaken with that. I don't know, but
I might be.
because my wife said, "Oh, there's a pink one," and I'm like, "What?" I'm like, and I looked, I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, there's another 3PO with like a pinkish color and stuff."
It was for breast cancer awareness. That's what it was.
I don't know. It could have been 3PO, and he had his transition. Now he's transgender now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the C in C-3PO stands for. I'm trying to think of what's her face's name.
No.
Caitlin.
He went there with it.
And how much of a dick was C-3PO hitting R2 when he was in that one scene? Didn't he whack him?
Yeah. Well, that's them though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Odd Couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Like
is.
Abbott and Costello,
Yeah.
You got the little round one and the tall skinny that's always beating on him.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think all the steam's run out.
Okay. uh, okay. Fine.
We all stopped at platform 9 3/4. Oh, we're
All
going
right,
back.
let's do predictions. What do we think? What do we think's gonna happen
Oh
next?
God, I don't even want. You know, I'm taking your advice from last week, John. I'm not thinking too much about it, so I'm not disappointed when the movie comes out.
I mean, I know what I want. I want some answers, obviously. I mean that's, but I mean maybe some backstory, some more backstory, like of Finn and Ray, obviously. But I mean I don't want to think too much about it either because it's just gonna drive me crazy. I just want to watch the new one over and over again, and then for the next 2 years, and then I'm good.
Yeah.
One thing that's really weird to think about. Someone posted a status about this. Is George Lucas had an idea for the next 3 movies. He had a story. I think he had a script even. But Disney said no, and they went with J.J. Abrams' idea. So in a way, this is kind of fan fiction.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way,
Yeah.
the creator of the series idea was axed.
Yeah.
I'm
There
glad.
was a thing.
Yeah.
There was a thing on the news yesterday where a guy from Washington actually made a video telling J.J. Abrams exactly these are the things that you need to. These are the things you need to hit. You know, as far as and these are the rules you need to follow. And I guess Abrams saw it and followed those rules. You know, so
Well,
Glad it
the
worked.
good thing about Abrams is we have a fan that's now in control of this amazing storyline.
yeah.
You know, where George Lucas before it was just his vision and it became cloudy and flawed. You know, going back, readjusting the trilogy to be totally fucked up. You know, it's I don't know. I don't even want to get into it, but
You know what I like too? I like that how in the prequels, like they had the lightsaber battles were like they were cool, but they were like really over the top. And now in this, it wasn't. It was just kind of like how the original trilogy was. Like it was like there's no like like
I would
all
say
over the
this
place.
this was more brutal and realistic than the original. Like they were swinging at each other.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
was so aggressive. I love that.
so
And like
thinking,
episode 1, they're like twirling and doing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a ballet.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's like more aggressive and like
Less-
the
less-
original ones. Like they didn't jump around and
Yeah.
I mean they did, but you know what I mean. Like it
Well-
wasn't like you said like a ballet.
Yeah. Well, the one with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, that was kind of like ballet-esque. You know what I mean? A little bit because it was more refined. They were like, the two masters going at each other. But yeah, I get what you're saying with all the flips and everything and the prequels and all that, and we didn't see that in here because truly nobody that was wielding the lightsaber other than Kylo, by him being hurt, knew what the fuck they were doing with it.
Yeah, none of them were really trained on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, except the stormtroopers. Stormtroopers were when they were fighting Rey, or no, Finn when he had the lightsaber.
Right? But Finn had no idea what he was doing. And as far as lightsaber battles go,
Yeah.
it was a lightsaber against something else, not a lightsaber.
Yeah,
So
but
technically,
but how they were fighting, they
that was
obviously
that was a cool weapon too. That one that the stormtrooper had, that was like whipping it around. That was
Oh, that thing was
Yeah.
crazy.
it's like a cattle prod.
Yeah.
They had those kind of things in one of the prequels. It wasn't. It was by one of those robots, but it wasn't that looking thing. But it was like that kind of. It's like a shock baton, but like giant.
Didn't we see an old droid from the original trilogy? You remember when they were in the bar and it was just like he said something and he was like saying like
Yeah,
alert.
it was that box with the 2 legs.
No, there was another one too. It's like an old school one that had like a weird like I'll find
Well,
it.
it's his face looks like a microphone.
Yes,
The,
yep.
the mouth looks like a microphone.
It looks
and
like an
he's
old
got like a-
50s microphone, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
We're obviously going to see a bunch more movies. JJ has been working on different ideas, and he said in an article recently that every time they come up with an idea, they go, "Oh, this will be great for 8. This will be great for 9," and then he even mentioned
Mm.
Let's just get through. Let's just get through 7, 8, and 9, and then we'll worry about the new trilogy. My God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, by the time the new trilogy comes out, we're all going to
Yeah.
be older gentlemen. And
So I just thought of something here. Leia mentioned something about Luke training the new Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
What if Kylo's turned to the dark side, where he killed the new Jedi?
He killed all the younglings.
Probably.
I feel bad for that.
from
That's
what
so sad.
But the one thing,
is.
like, I mean, I guess it depends on like how much you read into the comics. But the supposedly that his saber was built with parts from a hut. Like, there was like this newer hut that it was like kind of jacked, and he had like a necklace made of lightsaber handles. And
Oh.
from what I gathered, from what I heard on this one breakdown of those comics, is that he killed that hut and used those parts to build his saber. Um, so maybe, I mean, I don't know, maybe that was because also in the comic, Luke was captured by this hut, and basically he was going to be added to his collection of Jedi's because he like was a collector of Jedi's,
Mm.
and I don't know. But I mean, so he killed somebody. I mean, I don't know if it was the hut. I don't know if it was other Jedi's, or I don't know.
Did anybody notice, like, at the end, where the reveal, you see Luke, you see Rey and everything. Did anybody notice, like, in front of Luke, it looked like something like a grave?
Oh, I read about that. Yeah. I
I just thought it was
notice.
part of a broken down temple or something.
Yeah, well, there was that, and the stone steps and all that and everything, but I don't know if it could have been just a broken stone, but who knows if it was a grave where he buried his wife, or there's theory right there. So
You know, with that lightsaber with the you said with that Kylo Ren got,
Cross.
probably put it together.
Mm-hmm.
If he did kill younglings, maybe those were two little lightsabers. Maybe he just picked them up and put them on the side.
That's pretty messed up.
Yeah, I mean, he's a messed up
Makes
dude.
sense though.
Yeah,
He killed his father.
yeah.
He has an awesome voice, though.
Yeah, he's very emo. There was one guy. He'd seen the movie the day before I did, and he's just like, "I really love the movie, but there's a guy in the movie with a giant nose, and it really bugged me." And
Aw.
it's him. I'm just like, whatever. The dude's got a big nose, so what? He's still amazing. Like, his character is great. He acted it like phenomenally. It was
Yeah.
great. But he's just like the nose just bugged me the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
I like it. She's
What-
like called him like a monster or something underneath the mask, and he just picked up. He's like, "I'm a normal looking guy."
Yeah.
I
Well,
wasn't
not really,
expecting
but
that.
I'm a human.
So every time BB-8 was like, or a droid was pulled into like an X-wing fighter, they get pulled from that like suction cup thing, pulls them up.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered where does that thing go when they get pulled up? Because one scene, it's on top of BB-8's head, and next thing you know, you just pull them up through there, and it's not there anymore. It was like the weirdest thing. I was like trying to figure out how this technology worked.
That happened in the original trilogy too. So it's gotta go somewhere. I mean, it's obviously just disconnects at some point, and then there's like little wheels that push them up or something. I don't know.
It's just
That's the biggest gripe you have with this movie is where the hell is
It's
that?
come to us talking about that.
yeah. I don't have any real gripes about it. I was just like going, what?
You
He
know
just
what?
has like a 30-minute rant video, like, where the hell is this suction cup thing?
There's probably like somewhere out there. There's probably schematics on
Yeah.
how that works. To like,
In 30 minutes, we're going to be talking about what drink do you think they got in the cantina?
Now, do you think did they have Tang in that that world?
I was asking myself the same question.
Where was the blue milk? Damn it!
In the future, everyone is lactose intolerant, so they can't have.
They just noped it, dude.
Yeah.
And
You
you
know,
eat
fuck out of
you eat these things that look like squished fucking chocolate or shit that are like flat as hell. And you
Yeah.
gotta add water to it, and it turns into a cake or something.
turns into a giant meatball.
Yeah,
That was actually kind
a
of
giant wet sponge they got to chew on for a while.
They didn't nope that one. Huh?
Yeah, that's the one thing she didn't nope the fuck out of that.
Yeah. I do enjoy how they brought back the Force to being, everything that surrounds you and it's throughout the galaxy rather than the midi-chlorians.
Yeah.
Midi-chlorians. Love that.
Yeah.
Just was so. I loved it, man. There's nothing. I can't say. I really can't say anything bad about it. I mean, like I said, there's little things to nitpick about, but God,
Now,
they
where does it rank? I mean, as far as like for the year, is this like everyone's like favorite movie of the year?
Yeah.
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 man.
Now, I was wondering if Mike, down in front movies, Mike made that comment just to.
Oh,
I asked him.
I think he
And
did
he
that
said
just to
he
get a
was
rise
serious.
out of you.
He said he was
What did he
serious.
say?
He
What?
said he was serious.
He said Star Wars was great, but it was no Fury Road. Is what he said.
Oh, come on.
And I asked him. I said, do you really believe that, or is that just to get a rise out of him?"
Out of me.
And he said, "No,
Yeah.
he meant it."
Oh, that's,
Well, I agree. It was no Fury Road. Totally.
yeah, because there was a plot
You can't
storyline.
compare them. You can't really compare them. I mean, they're totally different movies, different.
I agree.
universes.
They're totally different movies.
But I mean, they
I
are
don't-
my top 2 favorite movies of the year.
I was at a Christmas party last night for my wife's work, and I was talking to this guy about movies, and I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I get kind of opinionated on some things, and he's just like, oh, like what? I'm like, you're probably gonna hate me for this, but I didn't enjoy Fury Road. He's like, we have to go outside and fight right now. He's like, so what didn't you like about it? I'm like, I understand why people loved it. I understand completely. It was like jam packed with action, and it was great action. I'm not. I'm more of a guy who likes a story, and I'm like, there was a story there. It just there wasn't enough of it for me. And he's like, I can understand it. He's like, all right, we don't have to fight anymore. I understand. But and so I agree. It's no Fury Road because there was a story the whole time.
So you guys are forgetting that
Jerk.
we still have yet to see the Hateful Eight. So
That's
really,
true.
You really
But
can't say Fury Road and Star Wars yet because one might take the place of the other.
Story and dialogue. I can't. I'm not. I know I'm going to get that with a Tarantino movie. I know that there's going to be a ton of it there. So
And we also have Revenant.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Hateful Eight.
Revenant.
I don't go to the movies as often as everybody else. I saw the Star Wars, and the last movie I saw before that, I think, was Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
That's how often I go. And before that was The Hobbit
With me?
with Kevin.
Speaking of Hateful Eight, did he hear who's that guy?
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern, yes. That interview with Tarantino.
Yeah, he was
I
on.
love any Tarantino interview I will watch. I just love when he talks and when he gets mad. I just love, I love how he talks. I guess what's the theater, the Cinedome, Cinerama?
It's like one theater that he's always like had like a
Owns, yeah.
well, it's not that he owns it. It's just that he always has. It's his like local theater, and that's where he was going when he was a kid and everything. And he always has like a big release at that theater, and it's just one theater. But Disney's like, nope, I don't think so. We're gonna take over. They said if they did the deal where they were showing Hateful Eight for Tarantino, then they wouldn't be able to show Star Wars in any of that chain's theaters,
Right.
like at all.
Yeah, so I guess Star Wars was supposed to play there for a week because Hateful Eight comes out next week, right?
Yeah.
But then they're like, nope, we're gonna have it all. We're gonna have it run all season, and it is kind of stupid when you break it down. It's just one theater, but it means so much to Tarantino.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, though, is I guess the people that are the company that owns that theater owns other theaters.
Right.
And from what I understand, it was going to be like they wouldn't be able to show Star Wars at any of the theaters.
Right.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah,
weird. Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
That's-
Yeah, after he was on that show, he went on Opie Radio and then talked about the whole cop thing, the cop killing thing, and that blew up in his face as well. Like, I don't know, I feel bad for the dude. He just seems like he can't get a break lately, but I'm sure his movie will be phenomenal. So I'm excited about it.
Yep. I heard a rumor it was supposed to have Django in it, but they nixed that idea.
Yeah. And actually, it's gonna be playing in 70 millimeter at Providence Place Mall, John. So
Okay, cool.
you should go check it out there.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we're about at the end, unless you guys have anything else.
I think we've talked a lot.
done.
We have. We've
just
gotten it all
excited.
out. This was our therapy session for Star Wars.
We don't need. It's not therapy. It's just it's
Oh,
If we-
it's
if we
therapy. We
couldn't,
all need
like-
therapy.
That's why I was like, I didn't read the email you sent first, but like I was like, we have to just
Like that flick.
talk. I didn't mean to do it like that.
Yes, you did.
No, I
Anyway.
didn't. Stop it, Jesus Christ. But I didn't read the email, and I was like, we have to just do a spoiler show. We just can't hold back on this.
Yeah.
You know. And then I read the email. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I had texted them. I said about doing this, like all spoilers, and then I didn't. Like I said, I didn't read the email.
it's gonna suck because I'm going to another Christmas party, and out of the people that are going, only myself and one other person have seen the movie, so we're not gonna be able to talk about it because everyone else is like, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Like, this
Go
is
see
gonna
the
be-
movie
This is
then.
gonna be horrible. I'll have to go outside and talk about Star Wars.
Well, they will see the movie Wolfman, but it's polite to not fucking spoil shit for people.
I'll send you a bootleg. You can watch it there.
Yes.
And
This is just there's a ball that keeps getting thrown around in the front of
Oh my god. And all you hear is
you. Really, and it's Tony the whole time.
yeah, it's like, shut up.
so
About to kill a youngling.
we have Samantha in the house. She says, "I just missed it. Great show, guys."
Thank you, Samantha.
Yeah.
Good morning.
I don't take credit for that. It's all John.
So the big announcement we're going to talk about, which we did talk about it when we were live with Tony, is we did win our fight from Sweden.
Poland.
Poland.
Sorry.
We won it from Sweden as well, though. Like, that was a private fight that he had.
Yeah.
There's something to do with
Just taking on Sweden. You know? Sweden doesn't even know we're in a fight with them right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, whatever, all our women are hot. Whatever.
Yeah. So they dropped their case against us, and our channel has been restored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won.
We did. John, I can't thank you enough for all your help during this. And Tony as well.
Next time we get sued, we'll be asking you again.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, when I get sued, I'm coming straight to you guys.
Oh, totally.
Nice.
If this is something you want to do again on your channel, we would love to do it. It's your call from here on out. So, just
Alrighty.
yeah, if you want to do other live events, I don't mind running the back end with my software. So
Running the
I
back
don't
end.
mind. I don't mind you rubbing my back end either.
No, keep in mind,
Nice.
before you guys run the back end, if you wash it, you wash away all the flavor.
Exactly.
John's like, you guys beat Poland. Go to fuck home. That's it.
Yeah.
Get out of my house.
So
Someone clogged the toilet. You need to leave.
yeah. Oh, that's bad.
On that note,
Yeah. So let's do the rundown. Tony, where can people find you?
you can find me on YouTube, Mr. Tony of the Dead, Facebook, Instagram, Tony of the Dead, and no, wait, let me start that over. YouTube, Mr. Tony of the Dead, Instagram and Twitter, Tony of the Dead, and Facebook, Tony of the Dead's movie reviews,
You're like,
and Tumblr. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god.
John D.
You can find me at YouTube, John Steele. You can find me on Instagram at Steele John. And you can find me on what is it? What's the other one? Twitter at Brillo Steele. And if you type Google mybigpenis.com, you can find me as well.
very well.
The internet censored him there for a second.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. Wolfman.
You can find me on
Well,
YouTube.
actually, let's come back to you because you're underwater.
Yep.
Kevin.
Yeah, just A Knuckle on Instagram, Twitter, and Vine, and also on the Dorkening, obviously.
And Wolfman, hopefully you can speak.
You can find me on YouTube at the 13th Wolfman, on Twitter at the 13th Wolfman, and Tumblr 13th Wolfman the Prowl.
Okay. And so for us, the Dorkening, just head on over to the Dorkening. I think I have it in the show notes, or just Google the Dorkening. You'll find us. We do multiple live shows throughout the week. And specials, we interview semi-celebrities and some.
Ooh, that's rough.
Well, we used to until
Yeah.
I just saw you say that.
Oh no, we do more independent people, and we've interviewed some larger people, and we just have a weekly fun show. For me, Google Leopon, you'll find a bunch of stuff about me. And John, since this is your channel, I'll let you take us out.
Bye. No.
Get out. Leave.
Been fun, guys. I'm glad you beat the Norwegians. And,
The Dutch. God damn you.
Catch you guys later. Bye.
ta-ta. Whoop.